Hey guys, Shane here with eTrailer.com. Today I have a 2016 Forest River Salem Hemisphere Lite travel trailer. And I want to walk through how to install the Lippert Components SolidStep manual fold down steps. The benefit of putting these on over your old ones, the standard ones that come on trailers that simply fold out, is they're kind of weak. If you step on them, they kind of move a little bit. They're really not that stable. Adding these solid steps is going to give you a solid foundation when walking in and out of your camper. These steps are going to come in multiple different sizes and widths to fit your door frame. They're going to come in 2-step, 3-step, and 4-step. And the nice thing about them is when you're not camping, you simply fold them up and they lock inside the door so they don't have to stay outside in the weather. They're going to be an aluminum construction, so they're very lightweight, not really too difficult to lift up. Simple twist of the handle unlocks it when you're ready to fold them out. If we come right down here to the legs, these are going to allow us to adjust for uneven terrain. Simply pop the pin out. It allows you to adjust in 1-inch increments up to 13 inches. Very simple to get your steps lined up. Slide the pin back through, and you're ready to use them. It's going to have a nice wide foot to give us a solid foundation when our legs are on the ground. The nice thing about these being all aluminum is we're not going to have to worry about rust and corrosion like we do with steel steps that normally would fold up underneath and store outside. When comparing these to some of the other steps out there, upgrade steps out there, the closest one that I can think of is going to be Torcliff's Glow Steps. They're going to be aluminum construction, but keep in mind they're going to be a scissor type step when you fold them up, and those have to be stored outside. When they're folded out and you're walking up and down on them, they do have a little bit of flex to them. With these are going to be a lot more solid when walking up and down, very wide. We have a very wide base here. Not a whole lot of give at all. Again, very solid, very wide, very large steps. As far as the width and depth of our steps, they're going to be 20 inches from inside to inside, 8.5 inches deep, 8 inches from one step to the other. Our top step is actually going to be 13 inches deep. So it gives us a nice solid base before we walk into the camper and when we first step out. Each step is going to have a nice durable tread on it to give us sure footing during those wet conditions. And there's a lot of different accessories that you can get for these. You can get handrails. There's also a lift assist if you're a little bit older and find these a little bit too heavy to lift. There's a mount that mounts on the inside so that you can basically pick these up with one finger and lock them inside your door frame. Now, as far as a weight capacity goes for these steps, I'm 6 foot, 240 pounds, and I don't even come close to meeting it. Total weight capacity is going to be 400 pounds, which is very high weight capacity for a step. Now, as far as finding the correct steps that fit your door frame, when you compare them to like the steps that go underneath, sometimes they can be a pain in the butt to get the exact size. With these, they're going to be adjustable on each side. So if your door frame is a little bit smaller or bigger, you can adjust that to get it exactly right. This particular one is going to fit from anywhere from a 30-inch door up to a 38-inch door. So it gives you a very wide range of door sizes that you can get this to fit in. Now, the way you figure it out is you're going to measure from the inside of your door frame from one side to the other, and you're going to round up to the nearest even number. That's going to be the size steps you need. And then you need to determine whether you need a 2, 3, or 4 step. So you're going to measure from the ground to your door sill or to your threshold. That'll let you know whether you need a 2, 3, or 4 step. Also keep in mind, with my family, our trailers are on, the grade kind of comes down, so adding an extra step so that that bottom step is not so far off the ground is probably optimal. So that's just another thing to keep in mind if you have somewhere you keep your trailer all the time and the grade kind of goes down. It may be better to get you a 4th step so that that bottom step's a little bit closer. As far as the installation is very simple, very straightforward. It's really going to depend on if you have laminate flooring or wood flooring, and it's going to come with the hardware to get it mounted into each one. I would highly recommend going with these. They're putting these on a lot of the newer campers that are coming out. They're pre-installing them because of how good they are. I'm actually getting ready to install a set of these steps on a family member's camper because, again, of how good they are. If you're looking for a nice, durable, solid step, this is the way to go. Starter installation, we need to take a Phillips screwdriver or a square head, and we're going to remove this backing plate on our threshold. We're going to set this aside. Now we're going to take our steps. We're going to have a plug on each side. We're going to pop that out. Then we're going to take this plate. If it's not folded down, fold it down underneath. We're going to set our steps down. And we're going to take it and we're going to push it all the way up against our threshold, like that. And what we need to do is we're going to measure from the side of our inside of our door frame to the edge of this plate on both sides and make sure it's centered in the door. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to extend out the legs, make our steps level, and then we're going to drill a pilot hole through each one of these holes all the way through the floor so we can insert a bolt. If you have a laminate flooring, your kit's going to come with a backing plate and bolts that are going to bolt the plate down. If you have wood flooring, it's going to come with wood screws. You're going to put the wood screws in on the wood floor. We're going to use a 13/64 drill bit. We're going to go right through this hole here, down through the floor. We're going to take a 4-inch bolt that comes in your kit. We're going to go down through the plate, right through the hole to the underside of the trailer. This is going to be our backing plate. We're going to put our backing plate on, and we're going to put on a flat washer, lock washer, and a nut onto each one of those bolts. Once we have these hand tight, now we can go back up top, fold our steps up, and we can put in our remaining bolts. We're going to put one in each one of these holes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 7/16 socket. We're going to lift our steps up. These 2 bolts here, we're going to loosen. We're going to slide this bracket out to meet our door frame. May have to loosen that one. There. Now before I put my remaining bolts in, I'm going to go ahead and tighten this bracket all the way to the floor. We're going to use a 3/8 socket on the bottom, a wrench, and the Phillips screwdriver on the top. Once we have the plate tightened, we can go ahead, drill out the rest of our holes, and repeat the process that we did with those 2 bolts. Once you have everything tightened down, go ahead and clean up all your shavings. You can reinstall your backing plate for your threshold. Here we're only going to be using 2 of the screws because we can't get through this one. We'll install our 2 outside ones. Next thing we need to do, go ahead and put our caps back in place. Once you have your caps in, go ahead, fold it back up. Make sure it's closing inside the door frame correctly, and you're ready to go. That's going to do it for a look at and installation on the Lippert Components SolidStep manual folding steps on our 2016 Forest River Salem Hemisphere Lite travel trailer.